in the interviews that I have conducted for this site on women who are doing particular work, whether it's working with youth women in Kenya or setting up an orphanage or taking yoga out into the world, the common phrase I've heard is, "I just had to do something." So it's as if once this knowledge or this awareness that there's a problem that exists in the world is in the minds or the heart of a woman, it almost seems like she can't turn away from it. Does that make sense?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'll just say that it's almost like it's coded in us. Mm-hmm. Like it's in our DNA, that it's written. Mm-hmm. And then it's getting activated at an even higher level of calibration. We were discussing this last night, that we see that we're being recalibrated mm-hmm. to a higher calling as the planet calls to us. Mm-hmm. The actual coding in the women is being activated at a higher level of awareness. Mm-hmm. It's a calling.
Yes. Well, and so I was just thinking, if a woman has a calling or a purpose and she ignores it, I would imagine that would be a very difficult path. Meaning, if she didn't feel like she could act on that, it would be denying a truth.
Definitely. I would, just from my personal experience, I felt at times really depressed, hopeless, in extreme despair, and I couldn't do anything. I was paralyzed during the day, and it was hard for me to make a phone call or barely get dinner on the table because I felt so kind of overwhelmed and shut down. And it wasn't until I actually got some help, received help from other women, from therapy, from doing workshops, that I was able to see that there's just an expression that is uniquely mine, that is good enough, that I had to step into. And I feel strong enough now, whatever it is. It's sort of a surrender to the higher calling. What is it today that God or presence or awareness or whatever anybody wants to call it is calling me to do? And every day, my day is full of ways that I give attention to things other than myself and other women. It seems to be one of my special things, is to be there for other women, to share and to be so vulnerable. I'm a very transparent person, and sort of give in that way of just being myself. That seems pretty basic, and I thought it was really not that important before, but I see that it's really important for us to feel okay in who we are. So really can't get step forward until you know that you're okay.
Well, in Native American, in the conversations I've had with Native Americans, it's referred to as our medicine. It's like we each are born with a unique medicine or gift that we're intended to use to heal on some level, and that's what it sounds like you're referring to almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you can't use that, what you were saying or what Inga was saying, the frustration, you almost feel like you'll die mm-hmm. if you don't express what your piece is or what your medicine is that you're saying. And just to tag on to one little part, because this may come to you and you're asking us, one of the other things we're hoping this film does, the way it delivers its message, is it helps women trust each other. Mm-hmm. And women have had some life issues. They've been pitted because of history in competitive situations due to some complexities with men and safety and life and all of those things, which we realize it's been difficult. It's conditioning. But what we think is that it's time for women to forgive each other, forgive ourselves, forgive each other. And that'll fall away, as Inga says in the film, like skins, and the skins just sort of fall away. So we're really hoping that the tone of this film creates safety and trust for women.
And inclusiveness and interdependency and a sort of, that you really can't do it alone, and that we need each other and appreciate each other rather than compare ourselves to each other. It's just not serving the greater good at all.